You can't outgrow your social circle's income level. Neuroscience proves it. Your brain contains mirror neurons that fire both when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform it. This is how you learn to walk and talk. It's also how you're learning what's financially normal. When you spend time with people who are broke, your brain mirrors broke behaviors. Avoided money conversations, impulsive purchases, the phrase, "I can't afford it," repeated until it becomes identity. Your mirror neurons copy these patterns to help you fit in. And here's the part nobody wants to hear. Staying loyal to friends who keep you in financial struggle isn't noble. It's self-sabotage disguised as kindness. While you're trying not to outgrow them, your brain is actively adopting their financial ceiling. Every complaint session reinforces your own scarcity. You think you're being a good friend. Your brain thinks it's learning how people like you behave with money. Mirror neurons were discovered when researchers found that certain neurons fired not just when a monkey grabbed food, but also when it watched another monkey grab food. Humans have an even more sophisticated system. It's how babies learn language. It's why watching someone get hurt makes you wince. Your brain constantly asks, "What are the people around me doing? Let me prepare to do that too." This system cares about social cohesion, not your goals. In ancient times, being excluded from the tribe meant death, so your brain prioritized fitting in. Today, that same system watches how your friends handle money. When they say, "We're not investment people," your mirror neurons fire. When they avoid checking their bank accounts, your neurons fire. Each time your brain learns this is how people like us behave with money. The more you're exposed, the deeper it wires. It's not about weak willpower, it's neural programming below conscious awareness. But mirror neurons are just the beginning. They're social norming. Your brain constantly scans your environment to determine what's normal. Research shows people's income clusters around their peer group's average, not because of access, but because of what feels psychologically safe. If everyone you know makes between $40,000 and $60,000, your brain treats that as normal. Earning significantly more feels like betraying the tribe. Your subconscious will sabotage opportunities outside that range. You don't apply for the higher paying job. You don't negotiate your salary. You don't start the side business because people like me don't do that. This is social norming, and your friends reinforce it without meaning to. When you mention a goal beyond the group norm, you'll get subtle resistance. Jokes about becoming too good for them, warnings about risk, stories about people who tried and failed. They're unconsciously trying to keep the group cohesive. Your success threatens the social equilibrium. Now add emotional contagion. Emotions spread through social networks like viruses. When you spend time with someone anxious about money, you absorb that anxiety. Literally. Studies show that being in the same room with someone experiencing financial stress can elevate your cortisol levels. Now imagine this happening repeatedly. Every complaint session, every vent about their boss. Each interaction transfers their financial stress into your nervous system. Because stress impairs decision-making, you're now operating with the combined anxiety of your entire friend group. This is why you can have a solid plan, then spend 2 hours with broke friends and suddenly feel paralyzed. Their emotional state became your emotional state, and in that state, action feels impossible. Even understanding this intellectually, there's deep resistance to changing your social circle. It feels like betrayal. And that guilt is by design. Your brain interprets social disconnection as a survival threat. Loneliness activates the same pain centers as physical injury. When you start to pull back from friends whose patterns hold you back, your nervous system screams danger. It floods you with guilt. You'll hear thoughts like, "Money isn't everything." These are your subconscious trying to keep you connected. But here's the truth. You can't grow beyond the environment that formed you while staying fully immersed in it. Neuroplasticity requires new inputs. You can't rewire patterns while the old patterns are being reinforced daily. The brain prioritizes belonging over thriving. Always. So what do? The goal isn't to abandon people, it's to strategically add new voices while managing exposure to stuck patterns. Audit your social import. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? What are their dominant money conversations? Complaints, jokes about being broke, or discussions about investments and growth? Your brain absorbs whichever pattern you're most exposed to. Next, deliberately add new inputs. Join communities where the financial norm is higher, online investing forums, networking groups for entrepreneurs. Even just observing, your mirror neurons are working. They're watching people who talk about money differently, who take action despite fear. Every exposure creates new neural pathways. You're not replacing your old friends, you're expanding your reference points. Your financial identity isn't fixed, it's a reflection of your environment. That identity was built through years of mirroring, which means it can be rebuilt. When you consistently expose yourself to people who handle money differently, something shifts. The first time you hear someone casually mention maxing out their retirement account, it sounds foreign. But the 20th time, your brain recognizes it as normal, possible. The resistance fades, not because you suddenly became confident, but because your mirror neurons absorbed enough repetition that the new behavior feels less threatening. This is how identity changes, through environmental reprogramming. You become who you're consistently around. The income level you're exposed to becomes the level you expect. The financial behaviors you witness become the behaviors you adopt. Your broke friends aren't bad people, but if you stay exclusively in their orbit, your brain will keep you at their level to maintain belonging. The uncomfortable truth is that upgrading your financial life requires upgrading your environment, not with cruelty, but with intentionality. You stop letting proximity decide your programming. You start choosing the inputs that build the identity you want. And when your income rises, when wealth starts to feel normal instead of foreign, you'll know it worked because you let your mirror neurons learn from people who are already where you're trying to go.